Hi guys, I'm Hani and you are watching What to Cook Next. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make these delicious homemade hot dog buns. And although I said hot dogs, please do not limit these to hot dogs. They're great for sandwiches, stuffing, and also bread pudding. So let's get started. To make the dough, you're gonna need bread flour. I'll be using some room temperature butter. You can also substitute other fat, like I've tried this with duck fat and lard. You're gonna need some honey, kosher salt. Easily you can substitute with table salt. I'm gonna be using yeast and warm water. Always follow the directions on the packaging and use warm water. Don't use hot water because it will kill your yeast. So what I'm doing here, I'm adding honey, yeast, and I'm also going to add a little bit of flour into the water with the yeast. Whisk it well and let it sit for about 5-10 minutes until it becomes puffy and foamy on the top. In a bowl, whisk together salt and flour, and now we can add remaining ingredients. I'm going to use my hook attachment to knead the dough. Different flours can be behaving differently, so this flour was a little drier, so I ended up adding 2 more tablespoons. And it's gonna take about 8 minutes for the dough to be done in the mixer. Here I'm preparing my bowl, just brushing it, spreading some olive oil in there. Now I'm going to dump the dough on a clean work surface and I'm gonna knead it for about a minute or two until it comes into a ball, and then we're going to put it in a bowl that we brushed with olive oil, cover it with clean damp paper towel and a plastic wrap, and we're gonna let it rise in a warm place for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes we can dump it on a clean work surface. Underneath I'm using easy dough rolling guide system, and I'm going to weight the dough using my scale, and each little pouch is going to have 70 grams or around there. 70 grams is about 2.5 ounces. Shape each little portion into a ball. And now we are ready to shape the rolls. So underneath, like I mentioned before, I have a silicone mat. What it does, it keeps the rolled out dough from shrinking. You can see how it's staying in place. It's shrinking only very slightly at the ends. So this way I can keep it really thin and roll it out like this. Super easy, even kids can do this. Here is another take. If your dough is a little too sticky, you can easily add a little bit of flour on your rolling pin so it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. Notice my hands are going slightly outwards, and then you want to press lightly to seal the edge. I'm also putting these, or trying to put these, with the edge on the bottom, so in case it's not sealed right, they are not gonna open up, because they will be sitting on the bottom, so it will kind of help to keep that edge closed. I'm going to cover these on my baking sheet that I lined with parchment paper with a damp paper towel, and we're gonna let them rise again for 45 minutes. While the rolls are getting all pretty during our second proving, we can preheat the oven. I'm going to preheat my oven with a small dish on the bottom, and then right before we are ready to close the door, I'm going to add a little bit of water onto the pan. It will release the steam, and what that does within a few first minutes of baking, it's really important to do. It will keep the crust really soft. And I'm also going to use my spritzer and spray these before they are baked, and this will help to also get a nice shine on the crust. It will dissolve the sugar, and as the water evaporates, the sugar will caramelizes and creates a nice shine on there. So here I'm adding the water, close it, and these will only take about 12 minutes. I'm also spraying them right after I take them out of the oven, and now we can let them cool. These two kind of bake together, so I'm just gonna separate them. You have to let them cool completely, and then you can enjoy them with your hot dogs or whatever you are making. These also freeze really well, so you can make these ahead of time. Use a serrated knife to cut these lengthwise, but don't cut them all the way through, so you can nest the hot dog in there. I'm just going really low key in here, just adding some mustard, but let me know what kind of toppings do you guys like. Do you make anything special? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you have a suggestion for a future video, be sure to include that as well. Let me know if you try this recipe. I'd love to hear what you think. I really love these buns and I make them every single week. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to What to Cook Next, and I will see you next time.